Hey guys, it's Tim here with another weekly video. I haven't really gone over The Last Shadow in a while, so I figured I'd show you guys what I've done. Um, I've been concentrating on the versus mode. I've got this notion in my head that the single player is going to take a while for it to all come together, and that maybe I could crank out a smaller version of the game that is just the versus mode, maybe with some AI in there that you could play against in, some kind of danger room like scenario. But I just thought I'd show you really quick what we've been doing. So if you recall, the idea here is that two of you attack each other and try to collide and win based on having more ricochets. One thing that you might have just noticed is that I have the notion of rooms now. So the idea was that people were playing like best out of 7 or something like that, and we just reset the game each time, and you'd keep score. And that seemed kind of boring, or not boring, but it seemed like we could do better than that. So to use the ridiculous term of gamifying a game or gamifying the scoring system of a game, I thought it'd be more fun if there was this notion, and I'll show you in a second where this came from, of multiple rooms. And when white wins, he's gonna you'll move into a room to the left, so you'll keep moving left, and the background keeps getting lighter, which kind of allows him to blend in a little bit more, but not really. It's just kind of like a haha, I'm winning kind of thing. And as black wins, then you're going to move to the right. And when you get to the end, then that player wins. And that kind of came from the idea, like, I had this goals idea where right now you're trying to kill each other, and that's super fun, and everybody has fun with that, but I was like, what if there was a secondary objective? So I was thinking, what if there was this switch in the middle that when you flipped it, and imagine, if you will, that this right here, instead of just being a white rectangle, this wall opened up and there was a doorway. So now if black gets through that doorway, then he moves into the room to the right. And that was the original idea. However, as he's going for that, white could flip the switch, and suddenly, as black is jumping that way, the door completely reverses, and so then white goes this way. And there's kind of some back and forth there. This would be a whole lot more fun to show with like 2 actual people playing. But I'm in the Omega Jam right now, and I feel it's kind of annoying when there are 10 people in the room and I'm recording a weekly video. So it's just me playing against me. Okay, so I did that stuff. So those 2 are kind of cool. And then I also changed the game in more subtle ways. Well, I added this trail, which isn't a huge deal, but I also made it so that the player scales as they bounce. So you'll see that the circle is getting bigger. And the idea is that the more ricochets you have, you're going to win that collision with somebody, right? So if white right now... Well, this is a bad example. Hold on, let me get black in a position. So if white jumps at black and ricochets, and black just jumps straight at white, white wins because it had a higher ricochet chain than black. And so I wanted to signify that, so you get bigger now. The other kind of cool thing about this is that you'd have to avoid this giant thing that's coming at you, and the idea is that you're getting bigger and your collision radius is bigger, so that's the advantage. And then the other player tries to get the heck out of the way because they don't want to get hit, and wants you to waste your jumps. Now, when I just kept it at regular speed, it seemed too difficult to dodge out of the way of the giant moving mass. So as you've seen, I also slow the player down after about 5 jumps. I start slowing him down a lot. So that's kind of the antithesis of that. You'll also notice that the jumps at the top of the screen are now recharging. About once every, so they recharge slowly over time. So the idea is that before, when you ran out of jumps, you were just a sitting duck and the game was essentially over. So this gives you, if you completely run out of jumps, here, let me do it a little bit faster. And I won. But the idea is that if you completely run out of jumps, then obviously, like with them recharging, you'll have like a better chance. So right now I'm going to go down to 0. So after a couple seconds, I'm going to get 1. Another thing that I added, so you know how when you jump and you grab those shells that they leave behind, you get a jump. So you see I have 4 right now. I jump at that, and now I have 6. So before I only gave you 1 additional jump, and that basically made up for the jump that you lost when you jumped to get it, which was cool because you could traverse the board. But now I'm giving you even more, as an incentive to collect those. And if you collect, and if the other player leaves a lot of them, which you could try not to do by ricocheting more, then that changes the strategy of the game a little bit. You might get too many right now. I don't know. We've only been playing it for a little bit. And I think, oh wait, that's not it. So the other thing that I did was really quickly, about an hour at the end of the day, I added a really simple AI, which is kind of funny because the first time I played, I lost because I'm an idiot. But anyway, so all he does is really simple. Right now, all he does is every time you land, he jumps and directly at you. So if you just jump over here, then he's going to blast you. So this is actually somewhat effective because, of course, he has perfect aim. And the idea I was thinking is part of the AI might be like a horde mode, like in Gears of War, where you start off and you're facing this one enemy, and then you beat him, and then all of a sudden you have to face two of them, and then three, and then four. Which I think is kind of fun because then the AI could be really dumb, and you could feel really clever, like you're fighting 5 guys, but you've got to be really careful. But for now, one of the key things about the game is ricochet. So I wanted to teach the player how to ricochet. So if you don't ricochet and you try and, jump to the opposite wall and then jump directly at him, you're going to lose. But if you ricochet, then he won't be able to see you coming. And this is, well, I'll just use backstab right here. So it also teaches you backstab. But you'll see here that if I ricochet, bam, then I got him. So it might be a cool tutorial type of thing also. But also, if I was going to release this as a small version that only had the versus mode, then you would probably want a single player thing that would teach the player how to play, or maybe something like I was saying, the horde mode, that would be kind of fun. So anyway, I've only spent a couple days on it because I've been cranking on Duskers during the jam, but I figured I'd show what we had because I hadn't shown it for a little while. So if you can, in the comments, let me know what would make this game something that you might want to go to our site and pay a little bit of money for it or support it. What would make it more interesting to you? Yeah. Okay, thanks, guys.